Hi, it's Robert Swimmer, and welcome to my channel where we explore above and below the sea. Today we are exploring, actually behind me, the lake Piru Recreational area. I wanted to just get out on the road, but a short run and do some camping. I've never camped here. I've been here when the lake was really high back in the day, probably 2 to 3 years ago. Even though the lake is low, so is the mass as far as ratio of campers to camp spots. So it's pretty wide open. It's beautiful, everything's green. The host letting me in at the gate was just very informative. And thank you to Ranger Paul too. Great discussions about some local history, especially with the Tatavian Indian population, which leads me to an interesting discovery while camping here. One, I wanted to try out, of course, my Black Friday bodega cooler for my Jeep, which worked perfectly with my BLUETTI battery. So that test knocked off. Had a great fire last night, did some wild caught. But driving up this pothole trailhead is a road that you don't need a high clearance vehicle. You don't need four-wheel drive, but you got to go slow in some areas because some pretty good ruts, so good tires. But along that trip, leaving from where I'm sitting right now, which is the boat ramp to the north, which is of course closed because of the low water level, but you can probably see it behind me. I didn't see this monument driving up the canyon, but coming back it stood out. And it's Juan Fustero's monument. He was, again, Tatavian Indian, born, I believe, 1841, according to the plaque, died 1921. So I hiked down to that. So that was kind of a special part of this trip. And as I mentioned, off season, boy, it's just quiet in the morning. They have great restrooms, showers, all the amenities. So it's a great place. But anyhow, let me take you on a trip up that road and take you down to the monument. And again, it's supposed to be a phenomenal place to go hiking at the end of the road. I talked to some guys that were hanging out there having a cold beer and just chilling. But there were certainly cars in the parking area that, for taking advantage of this incredible day here. It's got to be in the high 70s, clear, no wind. A lot of flies, though. But anyhow, let's go take that journey. Okay. Getting there. Traveling west on Highway 126 from Interstate 5, the turnoff to the town of Piru and Piru Lake is only about 10 minutes depending on traffic lights, and you could actually be at your campsite in under 30 minutes. You will pass the old Southern Pacific Railroad steel trestles as you approach the town, and in town there's a replica of the old Piru train depot. One day, I hope to do a video on the local train history. There are several areas for camping. The brochure describes 236 tree-shaded campsites open year-round. Well, there's certainly some that are shaded, but not all. Since there was less than 6 campers at the time of my arrival, the selections were wide open. I picked a campsite, number 18, since it was isolated, but also I learned it's right next to the road. But that's not an issue at night. Driving to my spot at the Olive Grove campsite provides a view of some of the many camping options. I enjoyed talking with the gentleman harvesting olives from the trees to be pressed later. Fortunately, no ripe olives dropping at my campsite. Shout out to Greg Merrill with Trail Newbie. And the hat, thank you. It's color coordinated with the cooler and the Jeep. Thanks again. Check out his channel. It's amazing. Heading up the Pothole Trailhead is about 5 miles from the guard house. The hike, described as trail switchbacks up the ridge line for 2.7 miles, enters the Sespe Wilderness and descends into potholes for another 2 miles. No relation to the unmaintained potholes in the road that is not maintained as you pass the northern boat ramp. Located about 1,000 feet south of the trailhead, east of the road is the monument. The elevation is around 1,080 feet, whereas the Lake Piru spillway elevation is 1,055 feet. So it's just above the water, as you can see from the drone footage I just shared from 2023. At the site, there's a plaque, "In deepest respect, Juan Jose Fustero, last of the Piru Indians, 1841-1921. I believe the plaque was once mounted on the Table Rock, then removed. Today the plaque is mounted to a more secure steel base. Here's a photograph of Juan, who's on the far left, and his family. He died on June 30th, 1921. It is stated he was the last full-blooded Tatavian Indian, but as you can see from the photograph, he had a very large family, so the family roots continued. The word Piru actually comes from the Tatavian word for the tule reed plant that they used for basket making, originally pronounced Piru and later changed to Piru. This is the last known photo taken of Juan by his friend Frank Ardendale, circa 1918. Juan lived on a homestead in Piru Canyon granted by the United States patent on January 9th, 1885. This was at the mouth of the Canton Canyon and part of the Piru Creek floodplain. Legend was Juan knew the whereabouts of a hidden gold mine in the hills where he would go get gold, then go by stagecoach to Los Angeles and return with $20 gold pieces. In his later years, he would sometimes have a small crowd following him in the wilderness trying to figure out where the stash is. When they discovered his body after his passing, they found $1,110 in gold coins stashed under his pillow. A 1954 newspaper article has a photograph of Dale King, Piru Canyon, homesteader, rancher, and friend of Juan's at the family burial plot. You can see a Fustero peak shown in the background. Friends of Juan that lived in the canyon had hoped he would be provided a new and adequate burial grounds for his wife and 2 daughters, who also were buried in the plot with the building of the new dam. Modern day accounts state that he was buried, probably along with his family, under Lake Piru. From another newspaper article, and I quote in part, in 1961, on a knoll up Piru Canyon, a group of Ventura County residents will dedicate a plaque in memory of the last Piru Indian. In his memory, United Water Conservation District directors have placed an unusual rock called a table rock on a knoll of what was Juan's property and was built with a little white fence around the knoll. It is on this rock that the plaque will be placed and ceremonies to be conducted by members of the Ventura County Historical Society and Native Daughters of the Golden West. Well, I sure hope you enjoyed exploring the Lake Piru Recreational Area camping experience and the local lore of Juan Jose Fustero and his monument dedication in Piru Canyon. Thank you to my loyal subscribers, and if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, where we explore above and below the sea and from the air. I hope you will give this video a like, leave a comment. It certainly helps the channel. But more importantly, wishing you all a wonderful holiday and New Year's. I'll see you in 2026. Thank you.